Using the internet without ExpressVPN is a dumb thing to do. It's like leaving your keys in your car while you run into the gas station to pick up like a Slurpee. Well, most of the time, it's probably...
Hey, listen, if someone steals my car, they need it more than me. That thing's a piece of... Okay, guys. So, the other day, I was on TikTok. I don't remember if my wife showed it to me or if I saw it myself. I think I saw it myself. But it's Roseanne Barr. You remember the Roseanne show? I loved that show. I loved Dan Connor. That was my favorite guy. You know, that was my dad. That was my dad. Until he locked a girl into that underground bunker in that one movie. Then it was like, no, Dad, why would you do that? Like, why couldn't it have been me? No, but I liked that show a lot. It was really fun. It was really wholesome. But Roseanne has gone off the edge. She's really gone. She's gone crazy. Last time I saw her before this, it was Roseanne, and she was on the stage with like the conservatives. We're like, this is the conservative humor, guys. This is oh, my wife showed it to me. This is the conservative humor. My pronouns are kiss my butt. You know, like that's the and listen, I'm a jokester. I like edgy jokes, but that's just not funny. You know, my trans joke is, hey, let me see them titties. You know, you know what I'm saying? That's a good funny one. That's a funny one. See, at least, you know what I mean? You got to be funny about it. But anyway, she went crazy to the point where I'm rambling a little bit because it's I want to get the video, I want it monetized. But I see Ben, he made a video. I was like, yeah, let's talk about it through Ben. He says Theo Von and Roseanne just broke the internet, and I think the thumbnail is something along the lines of like Ben is questioning whether she did something that was like really bad or not, and that's crazy because she said some wild stuff about Jewish people. So let's see what we got. Let's see what we got here.
Today about Roseanne Barr. There are a lot of headlines today about Roseanne Barr. So Roseanne Barr makes
all right. Talk a little less loud, Ben.
Unhinged and wild statements on the somewhat regular. I mean, this is what you did on Twitter.
Me too.
Remember that she got herself kicked off like the top-rated show on TV. It destroyed the show because she decided to tweet bizarre things about Valerie Jarrett. Well, she was on an edition of This Past Weekend, which is a podcast by comedian Theo Von, and she was making...
I like Theo Von. My pronouns are proud American. Yeehaw! What do you think about that? Yeah. Okay, anyway, Theo Von's pretty funny. I like him.
Making jokes. And there's now an overt media attempt to deliberately misunderstand jokes. It's something that happens on a routine basis.
It was a joke? She was just joking about how the Holocaust never happened? That's what the joke was, by the way. The joke, guys. That was her joke. Okay, let's see what you got for me, Ben.
If you make a joke...
Just by the way, just because you talk to a comedian doesn't make everything a joke. And on top of that, people use jokes to... Like, there's intentionality behind jokes that you have to identify, right? Some people will make, like, really edgy jokes because they want people to think bad things about the groups that they're talking about. Sometimes they can just be jokes, but we really need to explore that intentionality, right? But let's see. Maybe we're right. I never stole that she them titties joke. Nobody said that in my chat ever. Shut up.
Because jokes inherently are making fun of the thing that is bad.
That's not what jokes are inherently, but okay.
You can very easily take the thing...
It could be what you're doing.
...the person is saying and treat it as like a straight statement about reality. If you took any Dave Chappelle monologue and you just read it straight as though it were not a joke, it'd be the most egregious thing you ever read.
I guess, but like Dave Chappelle uses jokes to call out things. Like during the whole thing where we were talking about anti-Semitism, Dave Chappelle made jokes about Jewish people, but it wasn't to be hateful. It was more of like, it's unfortunate we can't have the conversation, because this is what happens, and this is one of the reasons why, like a lot of the Jewish question comes up, because people won't answer it, right? There is no magical authority of Jewish people trying to control the world. That's ridiculous, and if you think that, you're anti-Semitic. The problem is that we are not allowed to talk about it, and like Jon Stewart was the one who said it. And he's Jewish, okay? So I could say, okay, but I am also ethnically a little bit. My mom had a little Jew in her, you know, you know what I'm saying? And then she popped a big one out. No, but anyway, it's unfortunate we can't talk about it, and that's really where his jokes lie. It's like we need to talk about it because people will say things like, "Well, how come Jewish people are disproportionately in Hollywood?" The reason is because Jews used to be forced out, or Jewish people used to be forced out of the ability to make movies in like the East Coast of the United States. So they just made their own thing. They're like, well, let's go to the West Coast. And it was just better. That's it. That's all it came down to. And it's like, well, how come there's Jewish people disproportionately represented in like bankers? It's like, because historically it was considered dirty by like the Christian religion or the Catholic religion to be a banker. And so Jewish people, that was the only job they could get. Jewish people are like one of the most oppressed groups of people ever, like in history. Okay, there's always been these anti-Semitic shit. So like if you propose a question and I give you the answer, you might go, oh, that makes sense. Okay. And you look into it yourself, do that, and you'll find that like what I'm saying is right. And then you're like, oh, it makes sense now. Like you don't care. But if I tell you you can't talk about these things, it's gonna really wind up in your head, and you're just gonna be like, why can't I ask these questions now? That's the problem. And Dave Chappelle was speaking to that. I was listening to what he was saying. And Dave Chappelle is very intelligent, whether you agree with him or not, and he uses comedy to relay very serious conversations and messages. That's what I got out of it. That's what he's doing, right? And so the intentionality there is to call out like a criticism of like parts of the system. So that's where that comes from. What happened? I disappeared. Ah!
If you ever took a Louis C.K. comedy routine and you just read it straight, it would sound like evil.
I guess.
Because comedy very often is making fun of the realities of life by pointing out that we all have these bizarre thoughts and these bizarre evil thoughts are wrong.
Okay.
Well, she's pretty clearly doing this with Theo Von. She makes some comments about the Holocaust that are clearly meant to be sarcastic, and the entire media ran with this as though she actually was like calling for a new Holocaust, which she clearly is not.
I don't know. It sounded like it was.
And I gotta say,
but maybe Ben's got
Roseanne
it.
says crazy stuff sometimes and bad stuff sometimes, but
let's give me the facts, Ben. Give me the facts, Benjamin.
Obviously a media attempt to re-cancel Roseanne Barr.
All right, I'm ready. I'm here with an open mind.
Here's the actual clip. In context, you can hear she's being sarcastic. It's a failed attempt at sarcasm, but it's clearly sarcasm. And you know who understands that? Theo Von. I noticed nobody's calling for Theo Von to be canceled for laughing at her jokes.
Well, I saw the thing, and Theo Von laughs and just kind of moves forward and doesn't respond to anything. He's just like, oh shit, and he just stays quiet. Like, Theo Von isn't going to be the guy you're going to get political pushback from. It's Theo Von. There's no expectation of that. He's a show comedian that's just trying to have fun. So, of course, he's not going to push back. I have no expectation of him doing that. And it's awkward and uncomfortable. But, okay, let's see what Ben's got.
There's always been a ceiling on speech, hasn't there, in a way?
Of course, nobody wants to hear the real truth.
Okay.
They're horrified. They'd rather go with bullshit. It's easier.
And
like for the real truth that, and I'm glad that they did set up all these guidelines so that we only are allowed to speak the truth. And the truth is that Biden got 81 million votes by winning 36 counties.
Okay, so what she's doing... So what she's doing here is I don't know if you guys can pick up on... I'm gonna be very specific because obviously the joke there is that she doesn't think that Biden won the election fairly. Okay.
And that is just incredible. It really, really is. And
people were able to mail in vote, and for a whole week instead of one day. We had a higher turnout, of course.
That of these 81 million supporters who gave him more...
Webb became a member.
Thank you so much for the small guy, brother.
More votes than any president has ever gotten before. He came with a mandate from these 81 million voters. And,
Yeah, it makes sense because people had like a week to vote because it was COVID, and you got to mail in your ballots. So it's hot take. It's easier to vote when you have time to vote. One of the problems with voting is they do it on like a fucking Tuesday afternoon. Most people work Tuesday, except, especially video games. That's always their maintenance day. They're always working the most that day. People are working a lot, and that makes it harder for them to vote. So by allowing people more access to voting, of course, you're going to see more voter turnout. It's not like a hot take. It's a very basic thing.
I'm just glad that they were very careful to make sure that nobody could detract from that proven truth.
I agree.
What I mean?
Like, what do you mean? Like that nobody...
There's plenty of people saying that he lost the election and nothing's happening to them at all. Now, there are some people who did a January 6th. Those people are getting investigated, of course. An attempt to overthrow the government. But, yeah. I mean, okay. That's not the same as just saying he didn't win. But he did win. So he's going to have to hit that cope train.
That they mandated that was the truth and that nobody could say, well, what about no?
Oh, it was made a mandate?
Yeah.
Oh,
Where?
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So the government made it a mandate?
Yeah, because, YouTube did, and so did all the social...
so you can't speak? You can't even speak on that in those platforms?
No, you can't say,
That it wasn't?
You can't say that, like,
The
there was
election was rigged or-
yeah,
right.
that's all a lie.
Yeah,
The election was not rigged. 36 counties can give you 81 million votes.
Right.
Okay.
That's a fact.
Okay.
So it wasn't rigged?
Of course not.
Yeah.
36 counties have 81 million people in them. See? That's the truth. And don't you dare say anything against it or you'll be off YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and all the other ones because we have, there's such
What's she drinking? The bug juice? You remember bug juice? It's beautiful stuff.
a thing as the truth and facts, and we have to stick to it. And,
Yep.
It's scary.
and that is the truth. And nobody died in the Holocaust either.
No.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
Okay, so
It should
Okay, wait, no, Ben's right. Ben debunked it. Wait, hold on. Ben debunked it. I actually believe Ben. I think he debunked it. Ben is actually unironically our hero. So the whole thing here is her talking about, we're going to listen to the rest, but her whole thing is talking about how you can only speak the truth now, and this is all a fact. And she's saying it was a fact Joe Biden won, which it was. He was a fact. But she's saying it in a way that's meant to be facetious, where she's trying to say that Joe Biden didn't actually win. So that's why she's saying it's also a fact that Jewish people didn't die in the Holocaust. What she's actually saying is that they did die in the Holocaust. Because obviously there was a horrible Holocaust. So let's continue.
And that is the truth. And nobody died in the Holocaust either.
No.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
Okay,
It
so
should
this is
happen.
where things start to go right. So she's being
Yeah, I think
absolutely
Ben's
sarcastic,
right.
right?
I think Ben's right. Wait.
The entire thing about Biden's election is she believes the election was rigged. She believes that Biden did not win
Yeah.
81 million votes.
Yeah,
She said
he did, but
this
yeah.
before. So she's saying they banned all the. So she's taking the position of the YouTube censors, and she's saying in the same category of things that are false.
Theo Von saying knew his satire. Okay, Bay, listen, Ben countered the narrative, baby. Ben got it. Benghazi. You know?
These are two things that are false. She's saying. Are Biden won 81 million votes and the Holocaust didn't happen? She's saying both those things are false. Right? That's what she's actually saying. The way the media read that is that she actually was promoting the Holocaust. Theo Von gets this right. He says this Roseanne Barr clip was sarcasm, folks. A clip taken out of a long sarcastic rant she had during our chat.
Yeah, and I have the full clip here, by the way, from some weirdo that posted it the first time I saw it. Here. We'll hear.
Truth, and don't you dare say anything against it, or you'll be off YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and all the other ones, because we have, there's such a thing as the truth
Look at this. Oh, look. Wow, it's such a contribution.
and facts, and we have to stick to it. And,
It's scary.
and that is the truth. And nobody died in the Holocaust either.
No.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
It
Right, again, she's being sarcastic very clearly.
should happen. 6 million Jews should die right now.
Oh, yeah, that part I don't get. I don't understand that part too much. I think if we keep going with the logic of the joke, she's saying that they shouldn't. But that one's a little suspicious.
Because they cause all the problems in the world, but it never happened. But it never happened.
Yeah.
Mandated.
Well, because you're part Jewish, right? Part of your family's Jewish?
I'm all Jewish.
You're all Jewish.
100%.
That's why I find her so attractive. I like Jewish women. I don't know what I'm saying anymore.
A lot of
I only like wife sexual guys.
Hollywood is Jewish, yeah? It's like a lot of Hollywood is
Yeah, so it actually does seem like it was just a joke. Okay. It's a weird joke, but Ben wins.
Do we not recognize sarcasm anymore? And the answer is no.
Oh, I want to read what it said.
Clip was sarcasm.
The Roseanne Barr clip was a sarcastic, folks. A clip taken out of a long sarcastic rant she had during their chat. Can we not recognize sarcasm anymore? I believed it, but that's I got when I'm happy that I watched Ben. Ben has proven us wrong, and I like it when that happens. All right,
folks. A clip taken out of a long sarcastic rant she had during our chat. Do we not recognize sarcasm anymore? And the answer is no. They know it's sarcasm, but they purposely misinterpret things so as to try and pretend that people are playing it straight. This happens on the regular, by the way, on this show.
I didn't realize it was sarcasm until I saw the beginning of the clip. It's unfortunate people didn't play the whole thing.
And I'll do a 10-minute monologue about Cardi B's WAP, and it'll be really, really funny. Like, it'll be obviously comedic, and somebody
Relax.
will take it out of context, and they'll pretend that I was being very, very serious when I was critiquing it. And this is the kind of stuff the left does on a regular basis.
It's only the left, dude. There's nobody else takes things out of context, guys.
They're doing it to make fun of me, which is totally fine. They're doing it to Roseanne to try and destroy whatever is left of her career.
That's
which is really
fair.
not fun.
That's
I want to
fair.
talk to you about the
That's
Daily
fair.
Wire's most trusted privacy partner and premier sponsor
Oh, it's a
of
VPN.
this show, ExpressVPN. Using the internet without ExpressVPN is a dumb thing to do. It's like leaving your keys in your car while you run into the gas station to pick up like a Slurpee. Well, most of the time, it's probably fine.
Hey, listen, if someone steals my car, they need it more than me. That thing's a piece of shit. Okay.
Fine. But one time you come out and your car is gone. You're like, oh man, that was a real bad idea. Well, every time you connect to an unencrypted network and
Okay, we got any more information about this there, Benjamin boy?
3 extra months for free. Let's talk about maintaining a healthy lifestyle. So,
Yeah.
I'll be frank with you, vegetables are the worst. They're just garbage. Their nature is garbage. But we must eat them because if we do not eat them,
Okay,
then
fair
we'll die sooner because they make you healthy. I don't like the vegetables, but
He's right.
I do like
I feel like
balance of nature.
Oh, it's another ad. Holy fuck. I honestly thought that Ben was just talking to me. I was like, damn, Ben, you're so right. Okay. Cool. Buy lots of supplements.
Shapiro. And Joe Biden is still riding the rails when it comes to this particular corruption scandal with regard to Hunter Biden.
Okay, I find it interesting. This isn't a bad tactic, though, that he talks about something,
Department actually believed Biden's defense that the
and then he talks like something interesting, and then he talks about something that I don't give a fuck about. Then okay, yeah, that's it, folks.